地产公司的董事长 William Brother 进行探讨。
Chinese government is trying to cool down the real estate market a little bit. They had some policy to raise bank reserve fund, maybe to reduce the circulation of cash to hot market. One of the hot markets is the real estate market. Mm-hmm. So in your expert opinion's point of view, you think this is the right thing to do, or you need more policies to be put into action?
I think the additional policies that they need are very different than the banking. The mortgages for a lot of people are very important and very good as long as they're not speculating. And our sales, we find too many people, even normal Chinese middle class people, speculate on the real estate rather than live in it in the big cities. But what I think the biggest problem right now was that the normal developers can't compete with mixed use projects that may have a retail component. Our feeling is that instead of only building like in Beijing and Shanghai for the very wealthy people, that you could build shopping malls, hotels, and residential for normal people.
The housing is so high that a lot of people cannot afford house. Residential properties. Or you think the Chinese government is doing something to change that situation? You will be one of the developers one day in that kind of project.
I don't think we'll ever do affordable housing there, and it's just because it's too competitive and too political. It's the people who've been doing it for years are very good at it, and they have good relationships. Years ago, we had a relationship or contract with the Ministry of Housing to do homeowner education, to help people who wanted to buy, how to care for their houses, maintenance. And we worked with the government on being part of the team. I think we were more likely to be doing a housing project, as I said, normal people, normal middle class people in, say, second, third level cities.
So in China housing market down the road, you think it's going to be this couple of years that people were saying, oh, there's a bubble, it's going to be like U.S., it's going to crash. Well, in your opinion, will that be happening with the government trying to put into to stop that from happening?
I think the large cities, every few years that has happened. I think it was 1998, there was a real market saturation in Beijing and Shanghai. I think it's going to happen again if they don't keep the banks open for people to be able to buy apartments or buy and housing. They'll have problems in the second and third level cities. But I think there are it's really Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen that are flooded with speculative apartments that are real expensive. We did a project 2 years ago in Huludao, which is a city in Liaoning. And most of the people there are military or government employees because there's a submarine base there, up in the top of the Bohai Sea. And the apartments were expensive for Huludao, but they built a school, they built a river so the apartments would be on the river. And they built 6 or 8 projects that were all sold very quickly to young families who worked, who were fine. They had a great new school for their kids, and they were really nice apartments and really nice projects.
So you think?
And so there are plenty of places like that.
But not in Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen. It's going to be overheating.
And Tianjin maybe even overheat to a point because the new trains, and Tianjin I think is a very desirable city anyway, but there's a lot of market. It's not as expensive as the others, but there's an awful lot of market pressure on it. But we go to Qingdao and all through and a lot of cities in Shandong province. They're very prosperous little cities of 2 or 3 million people that have big needs and a lot of opportunity.